So what I was trying to express just now is that when you guys exchanged, each time you now talk about you, pride. So you come and say, me a sinner and God have mercy on me. You just committed a great offense in heaven. What's your offense? You just told God that to hell with the exchange. Keep your righteousness while I keep my sin. I say I'm too sinful for your righteousness to save me, sir. Don't you get Jesus? So me, a sinner. Bible say our righteousness is as a filthy rag. Go back to the first word in that statement. Our. Your eyes need to open. What do you say is a filthy rag? This righteousness. Whose righteousness? Our own righteousness is as a filthy rag. That is why He gave us His righteousness. So when you come and say, Bible says we are sinner, ask forgiveness of sin, righteousness like a filthy rag, you are not quoting the Bible. You can be quoting Quran, or Hadith, or what that again, or what? Biology textbook. But not the Bible. In New Testament perspective, Bible does not believe. It does not believe. But that what is done must not be worked experiential into what? Hallelujah. Praise God. It must be worked experiential into what? Into you. So when you now come and say, I'm good for nothing, it's pride. Because the last time we checked, you are not alive. So you shouldn't be good for anything. It is, I'm not capable, but I've stepped aside for Jesus to take the throne. If you are correct. I'm good in myself. Arrogance. I'm too bad. Pride. I see the differences. This one is even pride, arrogance. This one is pride. Guess what? Both persons are equally proud. None is worse than the other. One is dangerously proud, full of himself. One is dangerously proud, full of himself. Isn't that also something different? They have the same problem. Their problem was that they went extreme in selfishness. One person took left auricles of the heart. One person took right auricles of the heart. But both of them are inside the heart and part of the heart. So left and right looks different, but it's the same. But they are distance away. So let us tackle that problem. So I told you last week that your strength is a disadvantage. Your weakness is still a disadvantage. What then is the advantage? Spirit life. Spirit energy. The last week I told you something. That's where we stop. I say even the spiritual things we do is powerless when it is powered in the flesh. The last week I showed you why God doesn't answer most prayers of Christians, because it is self-centered. And I showed that before. Most people used to say why God answered Solomon's prayer was because Solomon asked for wisdom. No, I'm not correct. The Bible showed us last week. Remember to that scripture already. What was the problem? He said because you did not ask for wealth for yourself. That means what God loved about Solomon's prayer was that he didn't ask for what he asked for. For what? Himself. Lord, give me fire. While the precious have fire, and I will not have fire. That kind of prayer, you will never be answered in heaven. It's when the burden of the prayer is attached to people that God begins to answer it. When it is self-centered, it becomes a problem. Where we'll start from today is, before I now tell you that self-life is judged already, I told you I will bring 20 signs of self-centeredness / pride check. It was taught by Pastor Femi Lazarus. So this one is not me that wrote this one. Pastor Femi Lazarus. So I reached out to it and I brought it for reference purposes. So you can, after we release the 20 things, we will do 5 minutes deliverance on your seat for yourself. Write it. Give 2 pages gap. Write pride check. Pride check. That means sometimes you need to go to the presence of God for X-ray. So you want to go for X-ray now to know if there's still pride lurking somewhere in your heart, where Jesus needs to reach out. Is there you don't know what it means to when they say I don't know what it is. This is why I'm excited. I don't know. Everybody is just excited. Everybody is excited. I don't know why they're showing us up. So the first pride check is wanting to be number one. Use the keyboard. Wanting to be number one, and uncomfortable with lesser. So some of you can know what that girl was saying that in camp was what? That's pride. It's pride that Bible molo. Neat one. Whenever you, I will explain each of them. I'm not in a hurry. I thought I will stretch you today. Whenever you want to be number one and you don't want anything lesser and you become uncomfortable, you have pride. Now, mistake, for instance, now they say, can we celebrate the most beautiful lady in Watchmen Network? I will not say sugar. Woo! I will say the second is beauty. And suddenly your containers inside goes down. Your problem has a color. The name of the color of your problem is pride. Now, when you are not number one, you don't want it. You want to be the center of everything. And you don't want anything lesser. When you're comfortable with sex,